Good morning. And again, I am proving it true that Christians will turn anything into a life lesson. Okay, let me tell you. This weekend, some friends and I were out of town spending some time together in an unfamiliar place, and one of them needed to run to the store and pick up something. But here's the thing, we didn't ask what's the closest store that had what we needed. Nope, we just automatically headed to the store that we knew. Familiar name, familiar aisles, familiar routine. We drove right past possibilities because familiarity had already made the decision for us. And wouldn't you know it, we get to the place and they didn't even have what we needed. So now we pulled out technology. You know how we do when we don't investigate until plan A disappoints us. We searched for another store that carried what we needed and discovered something almost comical. The store that actually had what we needed was closer to where we were staying than the familiar store that we automatically chose. And right there in the middle of a simple store run, God gave me this revelation. Sometimes familiarity will have you traveling farther for something that isn't even there. Woo! And I'm not just talking about stores. Some of us keep returning to familiar people, methods, habits, environments, expectations, and ways of thinking simply because we know the root. We don't necessarily choose them because they're the best. We choose them because they're familiar. But familiar doesn't automatically mean fruitful. The children of Israel struggled with this very thing. After God delivered them from Egypt, there were moments when life in the wilderness became uncomfortable, and suddenly Egypt started sounding good to them again. In Numbers 14, verses 3 through 4, it records them saying, "Would it not be better for us to return to Egypt?" Imagine, return to Egypt. Egypt was where they were enslaved. But that's what familiarity can do. It can make you trust what held you captive, look more attractive than what requires you to trust God. Sometimes we'd rather deal with a familiar problem than explore an unfamiliar possibility. At least we know where aisle 7 is in that familiar place. And some of us have heard it said, it's better to deal with the devil you know than the devil you don't. Well, how about you stop signing up to deal with the devil at all? Recalculate, reimagine, rethink what you're doing with a God-sized expectation. Isaiah 43:19 says, "Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it?" Notice God says a new thing. New means you may not recognize it. New means you may not know the root. New means you may have to ask some questions. New means you can't always operate on autopilot. And here's the revelation. Don't confuse familiarity with God's direction. Just because you've always gone that way doesn't mean God is sending you that way today. Proverbs 3, verse 5 through 6 tells us, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not to your own understanding. And in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths." Sometimes God's direction isn't about making you travel further. Sometimes he's trying to show you that what you've been looking for was closer than you thought. You just never explored another option. That applies to ministry, careers, relationships, business, creativity, opportunity, even how we study scriptures and serve God. We can become so loyal to how we've always done it that we mistake routine for revelation. And hear me clearly. Different isn't automatically better. Everything new isn't God, but neither is everything familiar. That's why we need discernment. Don't chase something merely because it's new, but don't reject something merely because it's different. Sometimes different is the doorway to discovery. Different can expose you to something you didn't know existed. Different can stretch you. Different can teach you. Different can save you time. Different can reveal that you've been traveling 10 miles for something God placed 3 miles away. And sometimes the Holy Spirit has been trying to reroute us, but we keep telling him, no thanks, I know a shortcut. Meanwhile, heaven is looking at our spiritual GPS saying, recalculating, recalculating, recalculating. So today, ask yourself, where am I choosing familiar simply because it's familiar? Maybe it's time to investigate. Maybe it's time to pray again. Maybe it's time to consider another route. Maybe it's time to stop assuming the place you've always gone is the only place capable of supplying what you need. Because sometimes the blessing isn't far away. It's simply somewhere you never bothered to look. Don't worship familiarity. Follow God. Because when God says, behold, I am doing a new thing, don't be so committed to the old address that you miss where God is leading you next. Today's truth, familiarity knows the route. Faith trusts the guide. The guide is God. And sometimes discovering what's next begins with being willing to ask, God, is there another way? Be blessed.
I knew the road. I knew the route. I knew the place. So consider no other view. Went where I've been, 'cause that's what I knew. Got there and discovered what I needed wasn't there. And God said, now, are you ready for me to lead you? Recalculating. Recalculating. God, redirect me. I'm done navigating by familiarity. Yeah. I took the longer road just because I knew it. Never stopped to ask if there was a better way to do it. Familiar had me moving without checking direction. Routine made the choice, so I asked no question. And I found what I needed wasn't far away. I just never considered going another way. Sometimes a blessing ain't across the sea. It's sitting closer than familiarity, Lord. If you say turn, I'll turn. If you say move, I'll move. If you close that road, I'm good. I've got nothing left to prove. I don't need familiar when I take the time to discover truth. Recalculating. 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 God. Recalculating. God, redirect me. Recalculating. Recalculating. I won't let familiar keep navigating. Lord, direct my path. I'm done debating. New road, new grace. I'm anticipating. Recalculating. Recalculating. God, redirect me. I'm done hesitating. If you're doing a new thing, I don't wanna miss it. Trying to make the old fit. God, redirect me. Even when I don't recognize the road. God, redirect me. You're the guy. I don't have to know. Israel got nervous and remembered Egypt wrong. Bondage started sounding like where they belong. That's what familiar does when faith gets stretched. Makes yesterday look better when tomorrow ain't here yet, Lord. You said, behold, I'm doing something new. So I won't let what's comfortable compete with you. Now, don't get me wrong, different ain't always God. That's why I pray. Neither is familiar, always heaven sent. So Lord, you lead the way. Lord, lead me when I understand it. Lead me when I don't. Lead me when I recognize it. Lead me when I won't. Bring my loyalty to routines you never told me to keep. Wake up every dream. I allow familiarity put to sleep. I don't want yesterday's directions for today's assignment. I don't want comfortable more than I want God's alignment. Recalculating. the guide. So God, if there's another way, recalculating, recalculating.